guys, good morning. I am Miwa. I stream on Twitch and I like TCGs, but I don't like to read.
Well, you come to the right place.
Exactly. Liora, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, Leoha, my name is Liora Walkyria from VNU's First Generation. I also like TCGs. Miwa, you would say your main TCG is Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
For me, I guess my main TCG would be Vanguard, but I am a big Grand Archive fan as well, so I'm going to be teaching Miwa. Do you have dice, by the way, Miwa? I forgot to ask.
See, the only dice that I have is this really shitty one that I got from something called Dice Monsters. In a... I don't even know what it is. I was like, oh, maybe I should watch like a video before we do this stream. And I was like, no, wait. Leora's gonna teach me right from scratch.
Yeah,
I should have
you'll be fine. So I explained, we're gonna go from the very basics here. I explained to Miwa a little bit earlier, but if you do look at the top left of the card, you will see there is a blue one, and then there's this one that's yellow. The ones that are blue are like in Yu-Gi-Oh! What you would call an extra deck. In Grand Archive, it's called a material deck, and then the ones in yellow are your regular main deck. Just like Yu-Gi-Oh! You can always look at your material deck anytime throughout the game, but your main deck is obviously shuffled and secret. We're gonna just get right into it, and I'm gonna explain to you how it works as we go, because I feel like with TCGs it's just better to like actually play it, you know what I mean? The first thing to note is that unlike the other games, there are no phases. There are a couple phases, but I mean in terms of your attack versus your main phase, you don't have like a battle and main phase separate. They can be done in any order at any time, so that's just something to note as you're playing. But we'll get started once you're feeling good about your shuffle. All right, we're gonna get started here. So the first thing that you do is you are going to kind of like Vanguard. You stand all your units. Obviously, I have no units, so we're not standing anything. And so we're gonna do something called. We're going to materialize. So we have the material deck, so we're going to materialize something from the material deck. Every turn, you get to do one item from the material deck, period, during your materialization phase. So you have to be careful and you have to choose which item you want to do. So you're going to have nothing on the field, and I'm going to start my turn. So I'm going to go first. I'm going to play my Spirit of Slime. So every first materialization should be your spirit. So you, I think, have a Spirit of Wind. So you can look at that. And so if you look at your Spirit of Wind, when it enters, you get an on-enter effect that allows you to draw. So you can't play that right now because it's still my turn, but when it becomes your turn, that is the card that you're going to play. So I'm going to play Spirit of Slime, and I'm going to pick 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then first turn, I'm going to play a card. So you always do want to play a card on your first turn, and I'll show you why later. But we're going to play Baby Gray Slime. I'm going to move my spirit over here. Yeah, and then put my Baby Gray here. We're going to pay 2. 1, 2. And I can reveal 2 slime cards from my hand or memory. So I'm going to reveal a Limitless Slime and the Ethereal Slime here to draw a card because that's part of its effect.
That's
cute.
And
then I'm going to pass turn. So the thing to note is on my screen, and Miwa, you can do the same, is the way that you win this game. So wait, let's go to your materialization phase first. So I pass turn, your turn. You get to materialize your Spirit of Wind.
Okay, it says on enter, draw 7 cards. I feel like this is 7. 1, 2. This is not 7. This is not 7. Okay, hold up. Here, this is 7. This is 7. This is 7.
Okay, nice. Okay, so if you look at your Spirit of Wind and you look at the bottom right of the spirit, you're going to see that it has a number. So my Spirit of Slime is 15. Yours is going to be 15. Once you hit 15 damage, when you're on the Spirit of Wind or a slime, you would die. But say that we're playing the game, and if you go look at your material deck, you'll see that you have your other champion cards. So you have like Tenoris level 1, 2, and 3. Every time you level up your champion, you're increasing your HP pool. So your damage will retain. So say you had 5 damage on your Spirit of Slime, and then you leveled up to level 1, then you would still have 5 damage, but your total HP pool would be increased. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's a good way, like if you're dying, like you're at 14 HP on your spirit, you can always level up to increase your HP pool.
Okay. So is it like Vanguard where every round I can level up?
Yes.
Okay.
It's very similar to Vanguard in that, right? So it's almost like your ride line, but you'll see how the cost works in a bit. Something to also note is you can only play the element of your ride line essentially. So right now you have wind, and that's it, right? So you can play either normal or wind cards. When you get to level 3 on your champion, then you will be able to play a new element called Neos.
Okay.
So that's a different element that you can't play right now, but you will be able to play later in the future.
Okay.
Oh, Stalwart is a really good starter. So what you can do is you can play Stalwart Shieldmate.
Okay. Solid.
And I believe her cost is 2.
Yeah.
So you're going to put 2 cards from your hand into what we call the memory zone. So as you can see, I have 2 cards upside down. Yeah, and then you're going to put those 2 there. You can look at your memory at any time. If you're like, oh shoot, what did I put in my memory again? You can always pick it up and look at it and put it back down. So that's something to keep in mind. Usually for your memory, you want to put down cards that you are okay with losing. So you might potentially lose these cards, so you have to be okay with throwing them away. So maybe a card that you have a double of, or a card that you like, can't really use right now anyway. So you might as well get rid of it, and the more important cards will stay in your hand.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now you have a choice. Stalwart Shieldmate now has a pick. You can choose to kill my baby gray slime, which is a 1/1 unit, or you can hit me straight to the face. And again, once I hit 0 HP or once I hit 15 damage, I would die. So you kind of have a choice of where you want to hit. My baby gray slime does have an ability called Intercept though, which means that if you try to hit my face, I can intercept your attack like Vanguard and take it on baby gray. It's much like Vanguard where if you attack somebody, you have to tap, right? So you can tap your unit. The same is for intercept. If I'm intercepting an attack, I have to be able to tap it. So for example, if my last turn I attacked you with my baby gray, then I would not be able to intercept this turn. But because my baby gray is standing, it is still able to intercept. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Wait, Stalwart Shieldmate is 0-2, right?
Yeah, it's 0-2, so
Okay, so you can't attack anyway.
Yeah, because like the attack is like 0, right?
Yeah, but the good thing is because you have taunt, if I attack you, I have to kill your Stalwart Shieldmate in order to hit your face.
Ah, okay. Understandable.
So the other thing about Grand Archive is that not the champion, but the individual monster characters, the HP regens every turn. So I have to hit you. So right now I only have 1 attack. I cannot kill your Shieldmate the next turn.
Okay.
So you still have cards in your hand and you can do more things. You can play more units, or if you have something that says attack on it, the attack you can use with your champion to attack. It would tap your champion, but you would get to use that attack. So that one would do 4 damage, for example. However, that card in particular, as you can see, says class bonus and level like 2+, 1+.
Yeah.
That means that if you are the same class, so the class would come after. So if it says attack and it says guardian probably, means that if it says class bonus underneath, you can only get that ability if your champion is the same class as that card.
Okay, so this will work because it's a guardian human.
No. The class would be guardian, mage, cleric, tamer. So that one would be guardian. So it'd have to be when you turn into Tenoris, you would be able to use that.
Okay.
So that's something to keep in mind. And if it says level plus, like 2+, that means it has to be 2 or higher level in order for you to use it. But right now you are at level 0 because you are a spirit. So you're not going to want to use that particular card yet, right? It's going to be like more for the future because it has a lot of cool effects that you could get off later,
Yeah.
Okay, what other cards do you have in your hand? Maybe there's something else you can play? Young Peacekeeper might be a good one to play. So Young Peacekeeper has this ability called Foster. And the way that Foster works is for Tenoris deck specifically, and it's like a guardian mechanic, is if it doesn't take damage that next turn, after that, it stays fostered and it gets a bonus.
If I play this, then I have to pay 3 costs, right?
Yes. So all of the cards would go into your memory.
Okay. So we're good then.
But now that you have Young Peacekeeper, you do have a 1/2, meaning you can hit me for 1. So you can kill my baby gray slime.
Oh no, that's so sad. Okay.
Okay, that's the name of the game.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Baby
Yeah.
Gray Slime.
Oh, actually, sorry. You don't want to do that because technically what I could do is something called retaliate, which means
Oh.
you're attacking me. I can technically tap before I die to retaliate to you, and you would take 1 damage, and then you would not get your foster effect. So don't hit this guy, I guess.
Oh, okay. So
you have an option. You can hit my baby gray. You
Mhm.
wouldn't get your foster effect though, which kind of sucks. But you might be like, oh, but Leora's gonna just hit me with it anyway, so I
Mhm.
might as well just get rid of it. But that's your choice. But I actually can't hit your guy until I kill your stalwart shieldmate because it has taunt. So I
Oh,
can't even
okay.
hit the young peacekeeper. Does that make sense?
yeah.
So you also can always intercept if I'm attacking and your allies are standing.
Okay.
It's just that retaliating, again, causes you to tap. You have to turn your card in order to retaliate. So it has to be standing.
Okay.
Okay, so this is where you're going to see how the materialization mechanic works. We're going to start my turn.
Okay.
I start to materialize, right? As
Okay.
we do in the beginning of the turn. So like Vanguard, I'm going to ride on top of my Spirit of Slime with my Sylvie. If you look at the Sylvie, there is a, under the level, remember how there's a blue
Yeah.
little circle? That means it costs 1 for me to ride. That 1
Okay.
is a blue cost, not a yellow cost. Yellow cost means it comes from the hand into memory, right? Blue cost means it costs 1 memory.
Okay.
So you're going to pick one of these cards.
Left, why not?
Okay, left one gets banished. So this
okay.
goes into the banish. This one, I go to my recollection phase. I put this back into my hand. The remaining, whatever's left over in your memory, you put back into your hand. And then I draw. So that's why with you, next turn, what you're going to do is you're going to turn into Tenoris, but that only costs 1 memory, right?
Yeah.
So even though you have 5 cards in your memory, only 1 of them is going to go away, and the rest is actually going to go back into your hand anyway.
Oh, okay. Wait, that's kind of crazy.
Go 1, 2, to play Forest Cake, and then that lets me draw a card on enter.
That's so
I'm
cute.
going to draw. So my Sylvie, because I am in Sylvie level 1, she does have an on enter ability. Is the next animal or beast ally card I activate this turn gets a buff counter on it. So that's just something to note.
Oh.
So most of the champions will have some kind of on enter effect. So just to keep that in mind. We're going to go for 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to play Limitless Slime. Basically, every level that I level up, it gets more abilities. So at level 1, it only has floating memory, but when I turn my champion turns level 2, it gets 1 plus 2. And then when I turn level 3, it gets a buff counter as well. So it kind of like evolves along with you, which is a really cool thing. But because I had my Sylvie ability earlier, I get to put 1 buff counter. Buff counter means I get +1 attack, +1 HP on my unit. So my Limitless Slime is 2/2 now. I'm going to swing at your stalwart shieldmate.
Okay.
Because it is a 0/2, so that'll die.
Okay.
Your turn. You're going to stand your units, and they're already standing. Then you're going to materialize 1. So yeah, Tenoris 1 is a good idea.
This goes into the banish.
No, so that goes into banish.
Oh,
so
right,
that's your
banish is
discard.
its own.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you put all the rest of the cards in your hand, and then you get to draw 1 for turn.
On enter, Tenoris gains taunt.
So this turn, Tenoris has taunt, meaning, or next turn. So next turn, I won't be able to hit any of your units. So this is a really good time to place more foster units if you have them. But something to note is that right now your young peacekeeper guy, I forget his name already.
This is a
young peacekeeper does get +1/+1 because it is fostered. Now it is a 2/3, which is a really strong unit.
Okay. So if I want to play another foster, pay 3 cost. So now if I want to attack,
You are welcome to attack. So I have a 1/1 intercept or a 2/2 that cannot retaliate. So you probably want to kill my 2/2 because this is the threat.
With
this is a
young
scary one.
peacekeeper?
An intercept, I can only intercept if you're hitting my face. I cannot intercept if you're hitting an ally.
Okay. So if I use young peacekeeper to attack your limitless slime,
it will die.
Okay. Does mine die too? Because same damage? Okay.
No, because mine was already turned, remember? So I
Mm.
cannot retaliate.
Ah, okay, okay. So
Mhm,
if I use this to kill your baby gray slime.
So you don't want to do that because
Okay.
remember, that card wants to be fostered, so it doesn't want to take damage. And if you hit my baby gray
Oh.
slime, I could retaliate as I die.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
So another thing to note is if you want to look at your material cards really quickly, there are other cards. So starting from now, you have a choice. You can go to Tenoris level 2, or you can start playing other cards. There are cards that are like weapons that you can equip to Tenoris. And the way that weapons work is that you can combine a weapon and an attack. So remember you had an attack earlier that does 4 damage?
Yeah.
Say you had a weapon that gives you 2 HP or 2 damage, you would get 6 damage off by combining those two together. However, whatever attack your champion takes will tap your champion. So you could only do 1 attack per turn. However, you can combine an attack card and a weapon card too if you want to do big damage, for example.
Okay. And I can
So
do
one
all
of
of
the
this in
big-
like 1 turn.
So one of the big Tenoris metas is to heavy swing the shit out of people. So you would use bulwark sword, and then use heavy swing and combine those two to do a lot of damage.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
Another thing that you could aim for with Tenoris, because you are using mostly the starter deck, is that the level 3 allows you to use Neos cards. And the way that the level 3 works is every turn you summon tokens. So remember all those tokens that you
yeah.
had? You would start generating these domain, like the field spells. And you have like a bunch of them and they all do different things. And they start generating other tokens for you and whatnot too.
Okay.
So you have like 2 ways to play right now. You can try, like if you pull the right cards, you could just technically start swinging. Or if you're like, okay, I think I need to like build up before I can swing, then you can try to, you know, what people call in GA, they call it turbo leveling, where you want to get him to level 3 as soon as possible. So that's, you don't have to do that, but that is another option that you have if you want to, like, there's a couple strategies that you could aim for.
Ah, okay. So it's not like Vanguard where you can only do it like once a turn.
Oh, you can only materialize 1 item per turn, but you don't have to level up, is what I mean.
Ah, okay.
So instead of leveling up, you could play the bulwark sword, for example, and then level up the turn after. Some people only go to level 1 and they play the entire game at level 1.
Oh, okay.
So what I will do for my materialization, I am not going to level up Sylvie. I'm going to play Slime Totem, which is free for me to play. It's 0 cost. So that means I get to keep all of the cards that I put down in my memory back into my hand. Yeah, so that's really nice. I'm going to recollect, bring all these back, and then draw. So like lore-wise, it's like, you know, it's a memory. So you're recollecting your memory, but you're also recollecting your cards, you know?
Oh, okay. You know what? That makes sense. That makes sense.
We're gonna play Limitless Slime again.
Round 2.
And I'm going to banish the Forest Cake to give Limitless Slime a buff counter. That puts me at 2-2. Tenoris has taunt, so I'm going to hit you in the face for 2. So you're far away from dying, but but that's kind of just how the damage will work. I'm gonna end my turn, but because I have Slime Totem, Slime Totem allows all of the slimes I control to have vigor, which means it gets to restand at the end of the turn.
Oh.
I pass my turn. It's your turn now.
Okay.
Something that you also should note here is that in your graveyard, I believe Stalwart Shieldmate has floating memory. Is that right?
Yeah.
So when you pay for your materialization, you can always use floating memory instead. So for example, right now you have 3 cards in your memory, but say you had something that cost 4, you could pay for 3 plus the Stalwart Shieldmate into banish, and that would count as your 4th one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So the good thing about having floating memory is not only is it just good because you have less things to spend it on, but is if you really love the cards in your memory, you're like, oh man, I really want to keep all of these cards, you can choose to just use the floating memory instead. Or you can choose to not use it. You're like, I actually don't like any of these cards here. I'd rather throw these away, and I'd rather save the floating memory for a time in the future where I really want to keep my card. So you can kind of, ration it out or use it when you want to use it. Oh, before you draw, you're going to materialize.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Materialize, recollect, and then draw. Bullying new players with slime, shake my head. Oh my god, Igni, shut up.
Actually, it's kind of hot. We're gonna materialize.
kinda
He's kind of hot. So we're gonna materialize Tenoris because he's hot.
You do get your on foster effect now. Wait, so did you recollect and draw?
Recollect, draw.
And then draw.
Okay.
Nice. And then you also are now fostered. So your recruitment officer,
Okay.
her effect does proc. So
Look
now
at
you get to look at
the
the top
top
5
5
cards of your
cards.
deck. And then you get to pick an ally.
Okay.
So now you did pick up an Imperial Recruit, and
Mm-hmm.
you can also play your Imperial Recruit if you want. She has a really good unit.
Mhm.
She's a really good unit to be fostered, especially.
Ooh, so I can play Imperial Recruit for a 2 cost. I just want to ask,
Oh,
what is
sorry. What is Tenoris 2? Tenoris level 2's on enter?
Tenoris' next attack this turn gets +3.
So you probably, before you play this recruit, you're
Mhm.
probably going to want to see if you can attack with Tenoris this turn first. Because you don't want to waste that +3 because that only lasts for 1 turn. So if you have an
What?
attack
Okay.
card in your hand, you probably want to do that instead.
Oh, okay. So,
So
I do.
before you use your attack card, because remember, I have a character here that has intercept. You're
Mhm.
gonna want to kill this first.
Okay.
What you can do is you can use your recruitment officer because your recruitment officer is a 1/1 and
Mhm.
Baby Gray is only a 1/1. You can use your recruitment officer to attack my Baby Gray first.
So I will use Recruitment Officer to attack the Baby
Yes.
Gray first. Okay.
Yes, and I will retaliate, so that will kill your recruitment officer, but my Baby Gray also dies.
Okay.
Now,
Mhm.
you can swing at my face freely because I don't have anything that can intercept.
Ah, okay. So let me see. So Rousing Slime has a 4 cost, so I just banish 4 then. So this, do I have to put it to the side or?
Yes,
Okay.
so that would be like that, exactly, just like Vanguard.
Okay.
And
so I
then
put him to the
that
side.
would do 7 damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 damage. So that puts me at 7 out of 19. So that's a really big hit. 7 damage is a
Ooh.
lot of damage. So now that
Mhm.
attack card does go into the graveyard,
Mhm.
and you still have another attack. So you have your Young Peacekeeper, which is
Oh.
2/2. You have a choice here.
Mhm.
You can see my Limitless Slime. Remember I told you every
Yeah.
level I take, this gets stronger. It will retaliate and it will kill your Young Peacekeeper. But
Mhm.
you might be like, that's worth it because you don't want this one to
Yeah,
get
you don't-
stronger,
Okay.
right? Or you could be like, nah, fuck it. I'm gonna go full aggro,
Mhm.
face only, and you're gonna like figure it out later. You know, like Tenoris is a more tanky character, so it's completely up to you. So those are kind of the options that you have currently.
Nah, I think I will
Approach
hit the Limitless Slime
Okay,
just in
Cool.
case.
So it will retaliate, and your
Okay.
Young Peacekeeper will also die.
Okay.
How many cards do you have in your hand?
1.
I was
But
gonna
what
say if you
What is
can
this?
play. Oh,
Unique Domain.
oh,
Magian?
Dormagia.
Yeah.
So you can pay the cost, and
Okay.
it will be like a field spell. It'll like stay
Oh,
on the
okay.
field. But the way that field spells work in Grand Archive, so domains. So domain equals field spell. Domains are like you can have as many domains as you want on the field. It's not just exclusive to one.
Mm.
Okay, cool. I think that's all you can do right now.
Mhm.
So we're gonna go into my turns. You're gonna pass turn. I'm going to stand and then I'm gonna materialize. Something to note is that the reason why I'm not leveling up is because my level 2 Sylvie on enter is if I control certain allies, I get to draw a card. But I have
Oh.
nothing on the field, so I don't want to level up right now because I would be like losing out on my bonus basically.
Mm.
I'm going to play Slime Nexus. For 1 cost, I'm going to use
Ooh.
one of these limitless slimes in my discard and banish it. I'm going to... So, this is like a pro tip. If something has fast activation, you
Okay.
can play it on your opponent's turn. But another thing you can know is you can play it on your recollection phase. So
Oh.
before I pick up these cards, I could play a fast activation card. Oh, yeah. So this is fast activation. Basically, I get to play it for free because what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pay 2 costs,
Okay.
right? But I'm going to pick it up right afterwards.
Oh.
So I'm
okay.
basically playing it for free,
Oh,
right?
okay,
So
yeah.
anytime you have fast activation, you want to see if you can play it during your recollection phase. That's like a really, really cool way to play the game. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to reveal the top 5,
Mhm.
and I get to recover X, and it is all slimes. So I do get to heal 5. So I'm going to go down to 2 damage.
Ooh.
I'm going to put Baby Gray in my hand and the rest at the bottom. And then I'm going to recollect and draw for turn. We're going to play Baby Gray. And I will... Oh no, I have a slime totem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit you for 1. And I'm going to end turn, and then I have Vigor, so it's going to stand up again. So there are cards like Yu-Gi-Oh! Where if I attack, you could respond. So you know, the toxic thing to ask would be response. But but so there are certain cards. So for example, one I could show you that I have is called Resolute Stand. If you were to attack me and I played Resolute Stand, it would allow me to prevent 3 of that damage.
Oh.
But I have to still pay the cost. So this costs me 3 to play. So I need 3 cards in my hand in order to play this card, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there are times where you want to hold on to a certain amount of cards because you either want to play it in the recollection phase, like I mentioned earlier, or if you have these kind of defensive response cards that you want to play when someone's attacking you or doing something to you. It is your turn. You get to materialize before you draw.
What is a Sentinel Fabricator?
So first of all, it is a Neos card, meaning that you do have to be in Tenoris level 3 in order to use it.
Oh, okay.
And the way that that card would work, though, hypothetically, is that if you see it has a yellow circle with a 3 in it,
Yeah.
that means that you have to pay 3 from your hand into your memory and then tap that card. And then you get to summon an automaton drone token and you get to put a buff counter on it, which is pretty good. And you can do that every turn because every turn it'll restand, right? So it's something good to have if you like need more units on the board, or if you're just trying to build up an automaton army or something. But like I said, you have to be level 3 Tenoris in order to use it because it's a Neos element.
Okay. So if I want to use Bulwark Sword, so if I put it here and then I recollect and then draw.
Yep. Yes,
Okay.
correct.
I'm gonna use Young Peacekeeper, and then I think I will use Young Peacekeeper to attack Baby Gray Slime.
Okay. It will retaliate.
Okay. And then I will use Tenoris to attack you directly.
With the Bulwark Sword?
Yeah, a Bulwark Sword. I gotta pay 2, right? So I gotta chuck these 2.
So you put those 2 in your memory, and that does do 2 damage to me. So that would put me at 4 damage. So you see on the Bulwark Sword on the bottom right, it has like a shield on it.
Yeah.
That is its durability. That means you can use it 2 times before it breaks.
Oh, okay. So I can only use it one turn. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And also, don't forget that would tap your Tenoris. And not that it's that important,
right.
but just to get in the habit of doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna stand and I'm going to materialize. Maybe do Bauble of Mending because I have no monsters on my field. With my Limitless Slime as floating memory, I'm going to recollect and then I'm going to draw and I'm gonna play Blissful Calling. I get to look at the top 5 cards of my deck. I'm gonna show you Storm Slime, this is like the meme card. Everyone hates this card. It's a really strong card. Storm Slime, my beloved. You're toxic, chat. You're toxic. I'm going to play Baby Green Slime. So Baby Green Slime does have fast activation, but that's okay. I can play it at slow too. We're going to suppress an item or a weapon. So your Bulwark Sword is going to be suppressed. What that means is you can just flip it upside down.
Okay.
At the end of your next phase, you can bring it back.
That makes sense.
Wait, is it only on my... Wait, no. It might be on my turn. Actually, I'm returning to film the... beginning of the next phase. Well, whatever. I think it's... I'll just show you how like the mechanic works. Okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna swing at you for 1, so that will put me at 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna end my turn, which would Vigor. This stands up again, but your sword comes back.
Okay.
And you actually don't. You can remove the counter off of it. So now you have 2 more uses on it.
Wait, what?
That's why I'm doing you a favor. Yeah.
That's
but
nutty.
see, that's a really cool mechanic that you could use. So for example, this is suppress target item or weapon. Doesn't have to be my enemies. It could be my own. So if you had a card like this, you could use it on your own allies or your own items to get the Arn Enter effect on something again, or to clear damage counters and stuff too.
Oh, okay.
So like the way that things work in Grand Archive is each element kind of has its own like play style, and wind has a lot of that sort of suppression or like bouncing and stuff like that. It has a lot of, because it's like wind, right? So it's like wispy or whatever. And then you have fire, which is very aggressive, aggro. You hurt yourself, you hurt your opponent. You know, you're doing crazy stuff. Water is very control. So it's like you control the board, you control the pacing of, you know, what's happening. You don't allow your opponent to do things, etc. So there's just like different play styles with the different elements. All right, your turn.
Okay, I gotta restand
Nice.
the dude, right? But I have nothing in hand, so I can't
That's fine.
level him up.
No, you can.
Oh, yeah,
Because remember, it comes from your memory and
Oh.
not your hand.
Okay. So if that's the
So
case,
you can also use any floating if you have any. You can double check if you have floating memory.
So if that's the case, we are gonna get him up to level 3. Chuck the 2 Peacekeeper, and which one do you want? Okay, it
yeah.
was
You can play face up.
Movement,
And then you recollect
recollect, and then draw
and then
one.
draw. Okay, so at the beginning of your recollection phase, which is right now, you get to summon one of those items. So you get to summon an obelisk of armaments, fabrication, or protection. So I think one gives you shield, one lets you summon automatons, and one lets you summon swords. So you have to pick one of those. You can only pick one per turn.
Okay, so I think I'll pick the sword one because the sword seems
Okay,
cool.
cool. Yeah. So the way that the main Tenoris works is that every time you play those tokens, it is cheaper to use them depending on the number of domains you have. So, for example, if you use the sword one, you have to pay 5 in order to summon a sword. So you can't have a sword right away.
Ah, okay.
You have to pay
okay.
5,
I'll just put
but
this
it's 1 less cost for each domain. So right now you have 1 domain, so it would cost you 4. But say you had 5 domains, it would be free.
Oh, okay. Do I have to activate this immediately? Or...
No, you can activate it anytime during your turn,
Okay.
and you don't have to activate it at all if you don't want to.
Ah, okay.
Mhm.
So.
But the good thing is now you can also use your Neos cards.
So that means I can use like this, the Sentinel Fabricator.
You can materialize that next turn.
If that's the case, I am gonna summon this guy, Exalted,
Oh, nice.
and then I guess I pass.
Cool. My turn. I'm going to stand. I'm going to materialize. I am going to go into level 2 because I'm scared. Let me see. I don't have any more, so we're going to pick 2. Can you pick 1 for me to keep?
The middle one.
And then I'm going to draw for turn. And I also am going to use her on enter to draw 1 more.
Okay.
We're going to go for Slime Eruption. I'm going to put down this guy. And I'm going to banish 2 baby gray slimes. And for each card banish, I get to do 1, 2. I will do 2 damage to Tenoris. So that's going to be 6 damage. You're going to
So
6
6
damage.
damage.
And I think I will swing at you for 1. And then I end my turn. It's going to stand again.
Okay. I'm gonna use Crest of the Alliance.
And
then
there,
recollect.
when you recollect, don't forget, you get to use your Tenoris ability.
Right.
Yeah, and you get to summon another domain.
Expansion here. Wait, is this a domain?
If you look at the card underneath the art, it should say
Oh yeah, it
unique
says token domain. Okay.
Yeah, that means you have 3 domains right now, meaning all of the cost of those will be 3 less. So for example, if you wanted to use your obelisk of armaments, it would cost you only 2 to summon a greatsword token. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I recollect. And I draw. I'm going to summon an Imperial Recruit. These 2 down. And then I will use the Greatsword. And I will pay the 2 costs. This is also to memory, or is this to the grave? Or
All to memory, yeah.
Okay, all to
So when you do that, don't forget to tap the domain that you're using.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can only do it once is basically what it's trying to tell you.
Ah, okay. Wait, at the beginning of your recollection phase, if you control 4 or fewer other domains, sacrifice Exalted. Oh, so I'm supposed to chuck this?
Oh, no. Okay, so basically the way it works, I'll let you keep it for now, but just for future reference. So every ally you control do get +1 and +1. That is just normal.
Okay.
However, when there's something called upkeep, that means that you need to pay this cost.
The cost, okay.
In order for you to keep this alive. So you're kind of making sure it's still around. So in this one, every recollection phase, you need to have 5 or more domains. Or this one just gets sacrificed. So you shouldn't have played it until you had 5 domains out.
Yeah,
already.
I just realized that was a mistake.
It's okay.
Oops.
Yeah, you're fine. I'll let you have it this one, and then you
Aw,
can just
thank you.
chuck it the next one. Yeah, just so you can kind of get an idea of how it works.
This
So-
attack goes to this guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can only equip weapons onto champions. You cannot equip them to
Okay.
allies. But if you have an attack card in your hand, you can use the attack and weapon together. So Tenoris basically a lot of times wants to heavy swing with a weapon.
Okay.
You do heavy swing plus a weapon, and that's how you get maximum damage output from that. So, okay, for now, you can still use the greatsword and swing at me for 2.
Okay.
So what you could do right now is, because remember you want to stay fostered, you can use Tenoris and your greatsword to hit my baby green,
Okay.
and that way your Imperial Recruit can stay fostered for the next turn.
Okay. But is this like once per turn because it has like a 1 on the
Yeah.
the shield
So
thing?
it would go back into your
Ah.
token stack after you use it. You can only use it once.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna hit with the greatsword. The greatsword is 3 attack. So
Yeah.
if I hit you in the face,
Yes,
so
that would
that's
put me at 7 damage.
7. If I foster, right, does this mean on summon I can't do damage, or I just
No, you
don't
can.
do damage?
You
because
just
of
don't
the
want to get
retaliate?
hit.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So what does that put me at? 9. Right?
9.
So some upkeep things that you have to do here is you have to tap your recruit, you have to tap Tenoris, and then you would put the token back into the token deck.
Okay.
And I think you're good.
Yeah, and then I have to pause.
So I'm going to play Beast Bond Ears, and I'm going to recollect and draw for turn. I'm going to swing at your face for 1, and then I'm gonna end turn. I'm gonna stand it again because it has figure.
So I'm at 8 damage now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The baby slabs are so cute. Now I
Yeah.
can restand them. So we chuck this, but this gets a +1 because it's
Yes, we're
fostered.
being fostered.
Charge mana play. If my champion's taken 4 more damage, I draw a card. So I will put this here. So I recollect. And then here's my 3rd domain. Except they're all expensive, so I probably won't use it.
Well, now you have 3 domains out, so it is 3 less cost. Your automaton drones would only cost 3 to summon, and your swords would cost 2 to summon.
Ooh. So I'm gonna draw. If I use heavy swing, this card costs 2 less to activate, so it should be 4 on Tenoris, right? So if that's the case, this is a 6. So Tenoris is now 6, so I will use it to smack you in the face.
That would put
bad,
me
okay.
at 15 damage.
Oh no.
Oh, actually, what I will do,
Mhm.
Slime Shield.
Oh.
Slime Shield costs me 2. Actually, it only costs 1. It costs 1 less to activate. I'm gonna play
Ooh.
1, and it prevents 3 of that damage.
Okay, so that
So
is
I just take 3 damage instead. So that would put me at 12.
12. Okay. And this is like once per turn, right? So I put this in the banish pile now. And then
Wait, is that your banish? You should just put it in your discard. Regular
Oh.
discard.
Okay.
Most cards will just go into discard after they die. If you use something or if it dies, it goes into discard. It only banishes if it says to banish it,
Okay.
or if it is a material deck card. Material deck cards will always be banished when they're used.
Okay. And then if I hit you in the face with Imperial Recruit.
Okay, here's something I can do.
Okay.
I'm gonna pay 3 and use Resolute Stand.
Okay.
And I prevent 3 damage.
Okay. Cool. Okay,
Alright,
then I
I'm
get to
going
pause.
I'm going to finally go into level 2. I'm going to use 1 floating memory, and I'm gonna toss 2. So if you want to pick 2,
The left 2.
okay, those go into the trash. I'm going to recollect and draw. The next slime ally I activate will cost 2 less to activate, and will receive some buff counters.
Wait, I just realized those bee spawners, are they actually just Neko Mimi?
They are Nekomimi. They're literally just.
No way. Oh my god,
I have the
Neko Mimi
pause
the No, Neko Mimi the deck. Damn.
You're gonna see why everyone hates Storm Slime. We're going to
Okay.
play
Okay.
Storm Slime for free because
Okay.
of my Sylvie ability.
Okay.
I'm going to put 2 buff counters on it because that is part of the thing. And then use its on enter ability, which is as a spell, Deal damage to target unit equal to the number of slime cards in your banishment. So 8 slimes in banish, so I'm gonna hit you for 8.
That's crazy. Damn.
That's why Storm Slime is toxic. So that puts you at...
Okay,
So
16.
wait. Miwa,
Yeah.
you don't have any cards in your hand, do you?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say, this is a good time that you could use the defensive obelisk. So if you had even 1 card in your hand, you would have been able to guard 2 of that 8 damage.
Oh,
So if you look at the
that's so
obelisk of
sad.
protection,
Yeah.
it prevents 2 damage of whatever. So you can always try to keep 1 card in your hand.
Okay.
Or if you put out 1 more domain, if you put out that oasis,
Yeah.
you can do that for free once a turn.
Oh, I'm gonna use charge mana plate.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Good idea. So
'cause
you're gonna banish that.
I banish this and then I can draw a card.
So now what I could do is
Mhm.
if I swing Storm Slime into your face, but now you have 1 card in your hand. You can
Yeah.
put that card down.
Okay.
And then you're gonna tap your obelisk
Okay.
of protection or whatever it's
Okay.
called.
Yeah.
And then you would only take 3 damage instead.
Okay.
So that's kind of how that works. Okay, and then I'm gonna just swing you for 1.
Okay. So I'm
Gonna
getting.
put you at 20.
Yeah, I'm getting smacked in the face.
So something also to consider here is that Tenoris, because Tenoris is a tanky guardian character,
Mhm.
you have a max HP of 30.
Mhm.
And even though I'm also level 3, my Sylvie only has a max HP of 25.
Oh.
So that's kind of where the difference can be with a different champion. And that
Okay.
can kind of affect your strategies as well. I am going to end my turn. I have
Okay.
vigor, so I'm going to restand my guys, and it is your turn.
Okay, I'm a little poor, so I have to use Citadel Fabricator. Okay, and then I recollect and draw 1. What are objects?
Objects are any item on the field.
Okay.
And your ally, so the 7.
7. Okay.
Actually, I think your champion counts too, so it might be 8.
Oh, okay. So if I have 8, can I use Neopsite? It says
You
draw
can.
a card. If you control 8
Yeah.
or more objects, draw a card into your memory.
So you get to draw 1 card into your hand, and then the second card goes straight into your memory. So it goes face down in front of you.
And then this goes into the grave.
Trash.
Trash. Okay.
Yes, correct.
I'm gonna use recruitment officer, and then I'll set these down.
So my recommendation here
Mhm.
would be, because recruitment officer only is really good towards the beginning of the game.
Okay.
Because it's expensive, right? You're paying 3. What I would do instead is you could use your obelisk of fabrication. Wait, that's still 3.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Because it would be 3, but your automaton drone would be a 2/2, which is stronger than the recruitment officer.
Oh, okay.
Because it comes with a buff counter on it.
Yeah, wait, that makes sense. Okay.
And you could put the recruitment officer down as memory, and you would still have more cards in your hand at the end
Wait,
of
you're like so smart. Oh my god.
the day.
Okay.
It takes a while to get used to that sort of stuff in the game, so.
Have the obelisk, and now I still have like 3 cards in hand. So if I summon this, can I kill your storm
Yes.
slime?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so I need to put like 2 things down in the memory. I might have to like just stack it like this because I'm running out of
Yeah,
space.
yeah, that's fine.
I'll use the great sword on like
On the
Tenoris
slime, right?
yeah, on the slime. So we're gonna
Okay.
eat the slime.
So, what I get to do with the storm slime is when it dies, I
Yeah.
banish 2 cards from my memory.
So
Which 2 would you like to banish?
The middle 2.
And then I get to draw 2 cards.
The storm slime's so crazy. Damn. It's
Yeah,
good.
that's why it's
good.
toxic.
Damn.
It's toxic. It's really good because if you say, for example, I had more slimes in my discard, then
Yeah.
that would put it into banish. And so if I get another storm slime, I get even more damage basically.
Oh, that's crazy. Ooh. So then I will smack you in the face with Imperial Recruit. And then with Automaton Drone, I guess I'll just smack you in the face again with Automaton Drone. Okay,
I
so
will
it becomes 16.
All right.
Let's
My
go.
turn. I'm going to
Mhm.
materialize. I don't have any memory, so my only option is the respawn pause.
Aww, that's so cute.
And then I get to draw for turn.
I'm really liking Grand Archive. It's really fun.
Yeah?
Like, it's not
Are you
hard to
liking it so
understand.
far?
Yeah, it's not too hard to
mm.
understand. Yeah, I was telling Liora earlier, right? Guys, you don't understand how much I like this. Look, 1 line of text. 1 line just says draw a card. It's so easy to understand, and the words are big enough that like you can see them. Like I don't have to
font
like.
size.
Yeah.
She was like talking about how big the font size
Wait,
was.
the font size is crazy. Coming
Well,
from
okay, like
Yu-Gi-Oh,
just
I'm like,
to compare,
yeah.
the grade 3 Vanguard versus
I was like the difference
the grade
is
3
crazy.
Vanguard versus the level 3 Grand Archive is the amount of text and the text size side by side
Bro.
is What am I gonna do here? I'm gonna banish Bee Spawn Pause to give my baby green slime one attack. I'm gonna banish this Bauble of Mending to just draw a card.
Ooh.
And we got a slime. We
Yay.
have baby gray slime,
Aww.
which is not the slime I wanted, but that's okay.
Okay.
We're going to swing 1 and then 2 to Imperial Recruit.
Okay,
We're
so
getting destroyed by it.
Imperial Recruit dice?
Yes.
Okay. So, because I have Crest of the Alliance, when a foster ally dies,
Yes.
I can banish this and draw a card. So
Right.
I'm gonna draw a card.
Yeah, nice. You do get to draw a card.
Yee.
I'm going to end my turn, and then they stand.
If they say for number of tokens you control, so that means 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna pay the cost to summon an Archon broadsword. Okay,
Okay,
so
and then
I'm
you're gonna recollect and draw. You have a lot of obelisks.
Yeah,
So.
so I'm just gonna pay like the 3 cost to summon like an automaton drone.
Yep, and then you get another buff counter on it.
I will pay the 2 costs for Martial Guard, and I'll put it onto Norris. And
So Martial Guard, by the way,
Mhm.
is a fast action. So what
Is
you could do
oh,
is
Oh, yeah,
you could
okay.
always
This is fast.
hold on to it and just play it if you get attacked.
oh,
Because just in case you don't get attacked, then you don't want to waste the
Oh,
cards in
okay.
your hand, right? It gives you more options.
Oh, can I take it back then?
Yeah.
I am
of
so
course.
sorry. Oh man.
No, you're learning. That's part of
I
it.
just saw
So-
that it's fast activation.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mhm. So basically, fast activations are like hand traps.
I'm just gonna summon another great sword.
Sure.
Can I stack them or I can only use one?
No, you can only use one sword at a
Okay.
time, but you can stack a sword and an attack together, a weapon and an attack. So for example, if you had
okay.
Archon broadsword and you had heavy swing, you could
Mm.
technically hit for like 20 or something stupid.
Okay. I'm gonna summon that anyways. I'm gonna put these 2 down.
Sure.
Okay. And then I am going to swing at you
Mhm.
with the great sword.
Okay, I do have intercept, so I will intercept that. We'll kill my baby gray slime,
Yeah.
but you also do take 1 damage because it does retaliate.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So I'm gonna use the automaton drone to kill to smack you. And I'll use the other one to also smack you. So
I
yeah.
have 5 more HP left.
So I can like put the great sword back. And I
Yes.
think we pass.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool. We're gonna play Gaia's Blessing if you
Mhm.
want to choose one of these.
I guess the bright one.
And I'm going to draw. The way that Gaia's Blessing works is a very silly card. I have to play with the top card of my deck revealed.
It's
always gonna be
Twilight
like this.
Sun. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I can activate animal and beast ally cards from the top of my deck. So I
Okay.
could play this card from the top here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of nutty.
Sure.
Theo.
So we're going to banish Slime Nexus so I can pay for Twilight Slime.
Okay.
And then I'm going to show you the next top card. So this is not a slime card,
Okay.
even though it says slime on it. So that's going to just sit there.
Okay.
And Twilight Slime gives me and my other slime Spell Shroud. So basically it means that any spell effects cannot go through. Can't be targeted by spells. But you don't have spells anyway, so it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
So we're fine.
We are going to pay 2 to play Slime's Blessing.
Okay.
I get to choose 3 units. I put a level counter here, which doesn't really matter right now. And then I'm going to put a buff counter on each slime.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm going to start swinging. Let's kill one of your automaton drones with this one. Ooh, are you gonna use you could use your obelisk.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I will use my obelisk.
And then I'm gonna use this one to kill another one of your automaton drones though.
So you
Kill
might have
the
to
other one.
eat this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Rip.
I will pass turn, and then these get to stand up again.
Okay. I'm gonna play this one because it lets me summon an automaton drone. Okay.
Yeah.
And then now I have to recollect.
Yep, and then you get to get your automaton drone.
cost for
Yeah,
buttons.
so that one doesn't have a buff. And
Yeah.
then you get to restand all of your tokens as well.
Wait, if it says on leave, what does that mean?
It means like if it gets removed. So for example, something you could do with that
Mhm.
is remember my baby green slime? It has
Yeah.
suppress. When it suppresses, that card leaves the field.
Okay.
So you could suppress that card, it would leave, give you an automaton drone, and then in your next turn it comes back because that's how suppress works, right? When it comes back on enter effect procs, you get another automaton drone.
Wait, that's so nutty. Okay, so I'm gonna play Oasis Trading Post, and this is
Sure.
for 3 costs. So now I have 4 domains. So summoning an
Yeah, so
automaton
everything's even
drone
cheaper.
is gonna be
Yeah.
2 cost. So I'm gonna put this down and summon another automaton drone.
Nice. Your army.
We're building an army, and I think I can now use my broadsword, huh? So I will. Oh wait,
The
no, you have no
Pelotard has
intercept,
4
right?
HP. I have no intercept, so you actually can just hit me straight to the face.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit you straight to the face with Tanaris with the Archon broadsword attached. So okay. And then it gets like a +1 for every token. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So you 8
8
damage. I do have slime shield, but unfortunately that's not enough. And then that would be game.
Oh!
You would put me at 25. Because you do 8 damage, this prevents 3. So I would still get 5 damage and you would win. Yay!
Yay!
Where are all my slimes? Where are my slimes?
Okay,
I
this
didn't see a
automaton
single-
drone thing is crazy. Actually, I really like Grand Archive. Like, I think it's very easy to understand. Yeah, it usually takes me a while to
It is
like...
very straightforward. I'm gonna end it here though. Thank you so much for letting me teach you, and
No,
thank you
so much
for
teaching
asking me to play with you.
No, I had so much fun. Oh my god, we should do this again sometime. I'm gonna look into like more hot guy decks, and I'm gonna build them, and I'm gonna be like, hey girl. But yeah, I'm sending you guys over to Ray. Anyway, say hi to him. Tell him Yu-Gi-Oh sucks now. Grand Archive is better. Bye guys. Bye.